Hi, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be looking at a vocal mixdown to a full song. Few things we have to take into consideration. Number one, plan. Plan. Makes the session simpler. Number two, snip. Just neaten up those audio files and throw away that which you don't want. Number three, sound processing effects. Choose them carefully and wisely. You know what the sound is going for, what the song wants to represent. So use and choose those wisely. And the last but not least to really think about is mastering. A basic master is something that I enjoy just so that it sits nicely as a mix and you have a final product. Fantastic. All right, so stick around to the end and let's see how our mix bounces down. Okay, so I just want to give a huge shout out to Mr. Jonas Adamson. He is a sensational saxophonist, a marvelous musician, an incredible conversationalist. I mean, we just recently had quite a fat chat. Man, it's good fun just getting into some music terminology, some ideas, feedback. It's just totally brilliant to have that as a staple understanding between, two minds. It's just fantastic. Go ahead and check out his music and his channel. It is quite a lovely thing to hear, and I think you'll be quite impressed. I will leave a link for his channel in the description. Of course, without Mr. Jonas Adamson, the Sticks and Stones project/series would not at all be possible. As you know, it started out just with a basic conversation, and he was like, go write a song. And we've been doing our thing ever since. The first part we looked at was composition, so composing the piece of music. The second part that we looked at, we sort of case studied how to arrange and finalize the format of the actual song. And in the third part, installment, we looked at recording each of those blueprints that we set out in the second installment of arrangement. And then, of course, in the fourth installment, the fourth part, we mixed down the instrumental bit. If you have just joined us now for this installment, this is the mix down for the vocal part of the song. I am super excited to see how things are going to be working out, and just to see what's happening there in that mix over there. It's going to be something special. I think it already sounds pretty good with the instrumental basis. I think just to sprinkle some lovely vocals over there is going to be quite interesting. Yeah, man. So just some rules of engagement. Somewhere over here will be a song structure. Right here at the bottom, we'll see the effects panel or tab here at the bottom. As each of the effects are being used, so too will the song structure be used, and you'll see them each turn red, blue, and green. Of course, red is we haven't done anything with it. Blue means that we're busy with it. And of course, green means that we've just finished with it. So it's going to be pretty exciting. Yeah, man. Go right ahead and join me on this journey, guys. It's going to be something fantastic. But before we get started, here's a word from our sponsor. If you're a beginner guitarist, this series is perfect for you. Over the next few days, I'll be posting 10 quick guitar tips for beginners. And at this point, I've got a challenge for you. Alrighty. Okay, starting with the vocals, we're going to give it a nice big go. Of course, our introduction doesn't really have any vocals on it, so we're going to look at the first chorus. We basically have a main vox that we are going to be looking at. Let's give it a listen. Just a quick listen. I think that it's going to be quite an interesting go. All All right, ready? Let's have a listen just to the raw sound of the chorus, the vocal chorus.
Sticks and stones might break my bones, but your words cut right through me. Hammer those nails right into my skin, but you're the one that screwed me.
So just off the bat, what I did with this recording is that I actually sang the first chorus all the way through the first verse and pre-chorus. So actually sounds pretty cool. I think I even might have done the second chorus and second chant too. So in this mix, it'll go pretty quickly. The idea that I want now, because we have this main voice that's right here in the center. So what we're going to do is we'll keep the main voice in the center and then create duplicates to build into a nice spectral sound a little bit later. But first, let's just quickly do some EQ. As you know, I like to roll off some low end. This sort of like gives us a nice clean sound, because with that low end you end up having this muddy sound at the bottom, so do yourself a favor and roll off the low end, roll off the low end, low end, the low end, roll off the low end. And then of course we're listening for some frequencies that we don't like. So when we EQ, we listen for the frequencies we don't like, we roll off that low end, and we create a space for all the instruments to shine nicely through that. So let's just give that a listen.
Sticks and stones might break my bones, but your words cut right through me. Hammer those nails right into my skin, but you're the one that screwed me.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good. Ayo, 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 ooh, ah. Ayo, ooh, ah. That's very good. Now we're going to put on some compression. We'll just do a basic preset of basic vocal voice compression over here quickly. This is a simple setting. Okay, right. Let's have a listen to what that sounds like quickly.
Sticks and stones might break my bones, but your words cut.
That sounds good to me. Okay, now if we were to just quickly add in, I just want to hear what it sounds like with our might break my bones, your words get right through me. EQ, compression, those nails right into my skin. Pretty good. So we've got the EQ just cutting off that low end and giving us a bit of a shine for our instrumental also to pop out. So that's actually quite nice. Just for that first little bit, I think we're going to take the EQ all the way through. We're going to take the EQ all the way through our other parts too. So we've got a nice set there for the chorus. Chorus is sorted. I think I'm quite happy with just hearing that neat sound together with the instrumental there. Let's have a listen to the chant. I think that's going to be quite interesting. We've already put EQ on this because it is all on one track. So let's just have a listen to what that sounds like.
Ayo, 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 ayo,
And compression.
Ooh, ah. Ayo, 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 ooh, ah.
Guys, this is fantastic. So because I've performed this piece or this part, this vocal part on one track, it's like We are there. I keep on saying that. Okay, so that's our tick. That is our chant done. All right. Let's just have a listen to verse 1 going into pre-chorus, 1 going into, well, let's just first get verse 1 into pre-chorus, okay, and see if we are happy with it.
Yesterday we were together, ow, but I guess hearts fall apart and nothing lasts forever. Something's gotta give, someone's gotta go. To tell you the truth, some will fall in love, others will give up and never know what to do. Yeah, sticks and stones might break my bones, but your words cut right through me. Hammer those nails right into my skin, but you're the one that screwed me.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, guys, so just going through it, this is the main vocal. We're going to put the effects on the main vocal first, and then we'll work our way through each of the other voices. Okay. This is brilliant. Okay, so we've got everything up to the chant sounding quite nice. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. What a lovely experience. Okay, guys, we're going to go into the first or the second verse, sorry, straight after the second chant. Maybe we can take it from the second chant into the second verse just to check out what's happening there. Yep. And then, we'll put some EQ on the second verse. Very nice. Heartbeat. So you can almost hear that there's a little bit of a back step. So we'll just quickly. Okay, EQ. Do the EQ. Do the EQ. Roll off that bottom end. 120 hertz roll off gets you that clear little sound. So that's what you're going for. You want to get rid of some unwanted frequencies. Very important. Know where your vocals will be sitting lovely. That will give you a good idea where you need to roll off. Put some compression on. Just a basic, what's this? A basic idea of, that's brilliant. Just to give you a basic idea of where it will sit. So let's just have a listen. I've just put in a little bit of compression and rolled off that low end for the second verse. Also just having, as I said, compression on there. So we're actually working quite quickly now through this whole thing. Roll off that low end. Yeah, man. All right, let's give it a go. Our photographs us in the past. We're holding hands. So cruel. And even after that, wasn't me seeing his round. Something's gotta give. I'm happy with that. Sounds pretty decent. And the nice thing is that I also did the bridge on. So that's the whole thing. We've got verse 1 going into verse 2, going into the bridge as well. So let's have a listen to that. This is my favorite part. Oh, this is my favorite part.
No matter what you say, even what you do, it can't take the pain away. No dream can last this long.
guys. This is my favorite part. Goodness gracious me. It's EQ'd. We're all the way up to the bridge already. So this is fantastic. We're going to the next section, and the next section is our main chorus voice.
And stones might break my bones, but your words fantastic, baby. Have sticks and stones, yeah. You know I'm hurting, baby.
You know I'm hurting, baby.
My bones lays right
Into my skin, but
you're the one.
yeah, man. This is what we're talking about, man. This is what we are talking about. Okay, cool. We're gonna roll that low end off. Just want to see what's happening here. What's happening here? Ooh, I wonder why. Okay, right. We're gonna roll off that low end, guys, just quick as we can. 120 hertz rolled off on the main vox in the last chorus. That's where I do a little bit of ad-libbing as well. Just remember, guys, you need to find those frequencies. So find those frequencies that are not so cool, and that will change your whole setup. Take them out. You ain't got no use for them, man. Take them out. Some compression, just taking a basic vocal setting over here. That should work quite nicely. And to be honest with you, that's the main vocals done. Yeah, man. All right. So we've got the full song first voice, so the main voice sorted. Let's look at the chorus. We're going to go back to the first chorus. So we are nicely EQ'd now. For our main vox, we're now just going to look at all the backups. Okay, so let's have a listen. There's a low voice. Sticks and stones. Yeah, man. Brilliant. Okay, let's just want to quickly roll off that low end. Just want to quickly roll off that low end. We have an octave voice. And stones might. Brilliant. Okay, let's just take that away there. Okay, cool. Roll off that low end there. Some EQ on our second voice. Yeah, man. Put some compression on there. We're just like running through this like no one's business.
Sticks and stones might break my bones, but your words cut right through me.
I'm happy with that, guys. Hammer those nails right into my... Brilliant. Okay, cool. There is another voice I've put in here. It is a copy, not a copy. It's a second rendition of the main voice. So basically, I sang another part, sticks and stones, with at the melody, the chorus melody. Sorry. I'm just gonna roll off some EQ over here, low end, and just take this unwanted frequencies away. Take the unwanted frequencies away. Very, very important. Gives you a bit of an idea of what's going down there. Put a bit of compression on that. And let's have a listen. Yeah.
Sticks and stones might break my bones, but
Your words cut right through me. Happy with that. That sounds pretty decent. I'm happy with that. We're going to move on to our second voice for the chant. So I did a little higher voice for the chant, and it sort of does this opening flower kind of feel to it. Let's have a listen. Woo! Ooh, ah, ooh, ah. And it's already EQ'd. It's already EQ'd. This is what I'm talking about. Yeah, man. Sounding fantastic so far. Okay, so here we are, here we are, here we are. First verse, second voice, top. It has to be lightly sprinkled, okay? So ready EQ'd. What's going to happen here is I'm going to put we're going to put a little bit of interesting spice on the whole thing.
Felt like yesterday we were together, but I guess hearts fall apart and nothing lasts forever. Something's gotta give, someone's gotta go to tell you the truth.
Sounds nice.
Some will fall in love, others will give up.
And now there are three parts on it.
Never know what to
So basically, just a quick breakdown. Chorus has three voices. Two voices singing the melody, and I have an idea what I want to do with those two voices when we listen to it in our ears. And then, of course, that little low register, it's an octave of the melody anyway. Have another idea with that, but we'll chat about that a little bit later. Oh my goodness. OMG, this is sounding fantastic. Let's have a listen to the second chorus. So, I mean, we've just EQ'd, guys, and compressed right into my. It sounds so nice and full with that second voice that's supporting, the melody there. Ayo, ooh, ah, ayo, 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 ooh, ah. Mwah! Okay, that's brilliant. I mean, guys, look where we are now. Second voice, third voice in there. We are winning. We are just only winning. All right, okay. Second verse. Here we go.
Look through our photographs, us in the past. We're holding hands. Who knew that love could be so cruel? And even after
Here's my word.
the aftermath wasn't half as bad as we
Aftermath.
his arms around.
Aftermath? Really? Aftermath? I love that word. Just the rhyming scheme there works nicely.
Some will fall in love, others will give up and never know what to do.
Okay, let me just see. Okie dokie. Now I'm just gonna add. We've moved so quickly already. I'm just going to add. We're now in the second verse already. Jeepers. And I'm just gonna add the next voice on the pre-chorus 2.
Something's gotta give, someone's gotta go to tell you the truth.
Yeah, the lower voice.
Someone falling.
Let's just roll off some low end there. Remember, guys, 120 hertz is perfect for for that muddy sound to just disappear. We don't want that muddy sound. Whoop, whoop, whoop. We're moving so quickly through this. Oh, man. This is so brilliant. Oh, man, indeed. Yeah, just, it's very important to have that harmony there because what's happened was initially we were just going to have the two harmonies. Now there's a third harmony in that chorus. And I think what that does is it just sort of stabilizes the ear and sort of opens up that idea to link into the chorus because we've got three voices in the chorus. And it is a pre-chorus, so it's a build into that pre-chorus, and because we almost have like the fusion of two styles here, have the sort of like pop rock in the chorus and almost like an R&B-ish kind of feel in the verses. You want to have that be embodied, yet at the same time sort of link into each other nicely. So if we didn't have that blueprint in the arrangement part that we did, I think it may have been quite tricky to try and set out these recordings quite nicely. So we do have a good idea of this plan and the setup in there. I mean, they have to talk to each other, the sections need to talk to each other, the harmonies need to talk to each other. It'll give you a good idea as to where things should sit and how things should move. Talking about talking, just recently Jonas and I had a conversation and we were just sort of chatting about one of the songs that I did, and it was just talking to my performance of it, being a soulful one. I think it's very important when you do a recording for you really to put the performance in, sprinkle it in there, because if you take a dead sound and record that, it's gonna sound dead. You need to put life into your actual performances at the end of the day. And I think in most of Jonas and my conversations that we have, this is something that's quite important. We always talk about tone, we talk about register, we talk about the rhythmic qualities, some mechanisms that we may use, musical mechanisms that we may use, and devices that might open up a sound or that might add, some interesting qualities to just build into it. And it's very important that that building part is there because as a music constructor, you've got to now sit you're the producer, you've got to make sure that all of these parts actually sit nicely together and work with each other, talk to each other. Communication is key. And I think if the sounds in your song can be friends, a family maybe even, and just have a good conversation with each other, those who are listening will be interested in hearing what type of content, musical content is happening there, what kind of storytelling is happening there. It's unbelievable, I think we are so very fortunate to see other media. I've just recently watched a documentary from an artist, and it just opened my mind to so much. I think the pain that you go through is unbelievable, and the fact that you can channel that into your art is something special. Sometimes people recognize it, sometimes people don't recognize it, but the point is not that. The point is that you may feel something and you may see something in your mind's eye and then just bring it back into the reality of your art space, whatever that is. And in this case, as a producer or wearing the hat of a producer, you've got to think about how the listener is going to interpret and experience all of these sounds that are having these different conversations, like little magic fingers doing their thing all over the show. All over the show. Talky talker. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, so this is the third voice that just sort of builds into the chorus. There are three voices. It's something you've got to think about in terms of the layering, going into that kind of thinking. And of course, very important, we just add a little bit of compression there. Jeepers. Talky, talky, talky. So, second verse, we go straight into. So we have this reminder of the fact that we are preparing ourselves for the chorus to come. But here's the bridge. The bridge does something different and simple. So we have this opening of these voices, and then we're going to build it or bring it back down into this soft, let's think about things kind of conversation. And that's what the voice does here. And we do have two voices that work together. And so let's just quickly grab that second voice for the bridge. Yeah, so this is basically brilliant. Okay. So tell you the truth. Here we go, my favorite part. Some will fall in love, others will give up and never know what to do. Yeah.
No matter what you say,
But even what you do,
it can take a pain away. No
listening to it.
lasts this long.
Wake
up feeling blue.
Oh, I was showing off that day.
Can't go back to yesterday.
You know what? Just stopping there. I didn't like that day. I actually now like the fact that that second part comes out of, sync. It's not really in. It's like sort of just like fits in there. It's very interesting. I think performance versus post-production, it does something to a song. You really get to work with some of the nuances, Sometimes a mistake can even be something worth listening for. I think the first time we recorded, I was like, yeah, that's not on, and da-da-da-da-da, being all like, I'll criticize myself, I will criticize half puff and all of that, blowing my house down. This is something that you really, really, really need to think about. You can't just go ahead, record, do all of these things all in one spot. Oh, I suppose you could if you like, but it is good to have some time, think about, dream about, live, experience a little bit, have a listen to some of your marked sort of benches or benchmarks that you sort of use as an idea as to where you want to mix towards. This is very, very important, guys. So just looking at that, fantastic. So far things are sounding good. Things are sounding good. So happy with the bridge. Yeah, no matter what even what you do, he can take the pain. Okay, the bridge sounds good. I think now it's just a matter of getting our choruses sorted. I just want to roll off some EQ on the new voices. So I've got what had happened was I'd already done the ad-lib part. Very first thing I did was the ad-lib part on a separate channel, and then the backings, or at least the secondary voice, was done on its own as well. So you have these separate bits that need to work together. And this is what we're trying to do at this particular point in time. Let's get some compression. Okay, that works quite well. Let's see. What does this sound like going into? All those beautiful things happening there. Very nice. So we've got the sounds coming forward. It's sitting in with the actual mix. This is actually very lovely. I am happy with that. So Now we've got the full song EQ'd and compressed. All our voices that we need. Just to quickly run through it, as we know in the chorus or right at the beginning that we don't have anything for the intro, which is okay. Um, and that works quite nicely. So in every chorus we've got three voices. Okay, we have the main melody, that's the main voice. Then we have a supporting melody, which is exactly the same pitch, but it just sort of gives it a nice open sound. It's almost like a chorus effect. I just put one extra voice on that, so that's fine. Then what happened was there's a low voice that's also been placed in there. So we have these nice three streams. The idea is that these three voices are going to run, excuse me, parallel into the pre-chorus. So the pre-chorus, and the choruses, they work quite nicely as sort of uh, demarks as to what's going to happen in those types of sections. And then you have these more barer parts that only have either one voice or two voices working through this idea, which is sort of sentimental of these separate sections that are being sort of featured, if you will, in the set. So that's basically where we are putting EQ on all of that. We've EQ'd the whole song. It's fantastic. We've EQ'd the whole song. Let me just get some water. And I'm excited. Now we're going to be doing some panning and some volume control. I do enjoy putting reverb as an effect somewhere in the mix. So we may just have reverb on one or two voices for an effect, but we'll see if we want that to be the case. Let's give it a go and start panning and volume controlling. All right, so starting off right at the top. Okay, starting right off at the top, let's just quickly get to our, let me just quickly run through this here. Yep. Yeah, guys, this is super exciting. I cannot believe that we're getting through our song so quickly. Okay, so all right, let's get right to the beginning. We're going to start panning now. So what I want to do, the main voice is going to be a dead center, and I'm going to shift right to the edges, so we'll have 100, 100, and that is what will happen with those. We'll make duplicates of each of them. The volume control for each duplicate will be minus 25 dB. I found that that works quite nicely. So let's just quickly get that sorted there. So minus 25. And a second duplicate that's going to go all the way left. And all the way right. Let's get that. Yep. Okay, cool. We've got our panning sorted. We've got our let's have a listen.
Sticks and stones might break my bones, but your words cut right through me. Hammer those nails right into my...
Sounds fantastic. Okay, great. That sounds very good to me. Okay, cool.
Ew, 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 ooh, ah. Ayo, 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 ooh, ah.
Yeah. That's brilliant. Okay, let's go. So, just quickly sort this out nicely. Good stuff. Yeah, guys, so now we're just quickly placing our panning. Just make sure that this is gonna sit nicely. All right. Okay. Then there's a second voice. But that second voice, what I want that second voice to do is I want that second voice to be about 55% to the left, 55% to the right. So what's actually happening is you have this full set over there, a set over here, and then I'm going to take the middle voice and we're going to move it a little bit to the left. So we'll put it at, I think, let's put it at about 8 to the right. Let's have a listen, see what that sounds like.
Sticks and stones might break my bones, but your words cut right through me.
Yeah.
Hammer those nails right into my skin, but
Sounds
you're
good,
the
my
one that's
baby. Brilliant. Okay, cool. So that's panning, a cool for that. Let me just see. Now the last voice on so our previous voice went 8 to the left. We'll take the next to 8 to the right. Remember we said we always need to have a partner. So that's very important. So let me just quickly. So in this case now, we want the duplicates to be minus 25. And we're going to push this about 30 to the left and 30 to the right. Oh, it sounds good. Okay, about 30. Alrighty. Okay. 30. There we go. Okay, that's cool. This is not working with that. Okay. Righty. Okay, let me just check this here. I think it's going to sound nice. Just having a listen once more.
Sticks and stones might break my bones, but your words cut right through me.
Oh yeah!
Hammer those nails right into my skin, but
brilliant. That sounds great, guys. That sounds fantastic. Let's just have a listen here. Ayo, 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 ooh, ah. Ayo, 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 ooh, ah. Very cool. Okay, right, that works nicely. Let's just have a look, see if everything is there. All right. The beautiful thing about this is, as I always say when I say the beautiful thing about this is that most of the content that or the material that I recorded was done on one channel. So when I do, when I affect a voice or an audio file, it would then affect the whole section. So we are actually moving super duper Speedy Gonzalez fast, yeah. Break my bones, but let's just have a listen to that pre-chorus quickly. We'll give up. and stones mine. It's very nice because that build in there and some of the ad-libs that were sprinkled on falls into the choruses, so that works very well. Wow. Very, very well. It's just talking to each other, you know? It speaks to each other so nicely. Lower voice. All right. So I just want to quickly make a duplicate of the second pre-chorus lower voice quickly. That's going to go all the way to 50 to 30. And then another duplicate which will go to 30 to the right. So this is 30 to the left and 30 to the right. If you're a little bit lost as to where we are, we are busy panning and volume controlling. Okay, so 30 to the right. Nice. And then of course with our volume control, minus 25 dBs, minus 25 dBs. All right, so here we are. Let's have a listen to that second pre-chorus. We'll give up and never know what to do. Brilliant. Okay. So it's clear to see that when we pan, it really, really works well. You get to space everything in the right area. It just works out so nicely. It works out so very nicely. I'm gonna make that wide. So now this is just the second verse. I'm gonna put that the voices wide, so wide, and then have the center inside. Wide have the center inside. Remember that the instruments are also placed in specific places, so we're trying to remember that setup too, having all of these different sounds sitting where they want. Remember, we want to sprinkle it nicely so it sounds like it's worth having a listen to, you know. So it's truly fantastic. Okay. Right, guys, let's see where we are. Wow. We are now by my favorite part, the bridge, with the second voice. That's fantastic. No matter what you
say, even what you do, it can take the pain away. No dream can last this long. You wake up feeling blue.
Okay, beautiful. That works so nicely. Okay. Right. Last chorus, guys. We just like running through the whole thing. So making a duplicate of the main vox now. As you know, we'll have minus 25 dB on either or, panning them super wide. It's just going to give us a nice setup as to what gives at the end there. And then the low voice is going to be at 50, so half the width of the others. Obviously doing a minus 5 on the main audio file there, and I want to do another minus 5 on that second melody that we spoke about. Okay, and now we're sitting quite nicely. So Okay, right. Let's do a duplicate on, um, yeah, we're going to do a duplicate on the lower voice in the last chorus. It's going to go all the way to 50 to the left. And then, or 30, sorry, 30 to the left. And about 30 to the right. And then we should, guys, and then we're done. Unbelievable. Let's do one more duplicate. And Bob is our uncle. If you have an uncle called Bob, then he's your uncle. Not every Bob is your uncle. Okay? Just putting it out there. Just putting it out there. Break my bones, but let's do the oh. Nice. Oh.
Sticks and stones might break my bones, but your words cut right through me. Sticks and
Yeah, man.
stones.
All right, guys. That's everything. That's everything. How quick was that? Vocal mix down, done. We did not decide to use reverb. I think it does sound pretty decent without the reverb, which means that this room that we recorded in right here is where the sound should probably feel like it lives in. Okay, so that's where we are at this point. All right, guys, if you're ready, I'm ready. We're going to give it a nice, decent listen through. I just want to see, yeah, we've got a main compressor on our master out. Cool. So, super happy about this now altogether. That was so very quick. Okay, right, guys, this is the full song. Let's give it a go.
Sticks and stones might break my bones, but your words cut right through me. Hammer those nails right into my skin, but you're the one that screwed me. Yeah. Ew, 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 ooh, ah. Ew, 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 ooh, ah.
Just opens.
Felt like yesterday we were together, oh, but I guess hearts fall apart. Nothing lasts forever. Something's gotta give, someone's gotta go. To tell you the truth, some will fall in love, others will give up and never know what to do. Yeah, sticks and stones might break my bones, but your words cut right through me. Hammer those nails right into my skin, but you're the one that screwed me. Yeah. Ew, 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 ooh, ah. Ew, 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 ooh, ah. Look through our photographs, us in the past. We're holding hands. Who knew that love could be so cruel? And even after that, the aftermath wasn't half as bad as we see in his arms around you. Oh, something's gotta give, someone's gotta go. To tell you the truth, some will fall in love, others will give up and never know what to do. you do. It can take the pain away. No dream can last this long. You wake up feeling blue. Can't go back to yesterday. Stones might break my bones, but your words cut right through me. Sticks and stones, yeah. You know I'm hurting, baby. Hammer those nails right into my skin, but you're the one that's me.
Woo! All right. I must admit that sounds pretty decent. That sounds pretty decent. Let's just check what gives here. So, guys, oh man, this is so good. So what did we do? Let's just quickly run through what we've done. We have basically set out two main things, really. To have the instrumental bed sit there in a decent space, and then to sprinkle the vox and the vocals rather over that bed. At the moment, I love how the sounds have all been placed and how it sits where it is. It does feel like the song has come together quite nicely. I feel like maybe I should shoot a music video for for the song. But again, these are things that we need to think about quite nicely. I'm just quickly going to render out this piece quickly. Render out this file, and then we're going to do the mastering. So this could take a little bit, but we'll see how it goes. Just wow, man, I like the way that the song actually speaks to each other. You know, you have this conversations within conversations. You know, guys, this is something that I really do like about this kind of case study. You end up looking at the full intention. One of the biggest things for me that I love to see happen is that your intention remains clear and honest. You know, this is a very important thing. At the end of the day, you are not going to be working well if you're not honest. You're not going to be getting to the main point of your shot that you're trying to take if you are not clear on what it is that you want to do. You've got to enjoy and love what it is that is being done, and you've got to give it a fair go, you know. And when the listeners sit down to have a listen to what you have to share with them, it ends up being something that's pretty fantastic, because they can appreciate what you have gone through, just as we can appreciate what is happening now. But quite nicely, just looking at what we have done over this last session, we've looked through all the sections, and of course we didn't have to do much neatening up, because our recording session went pretty well. Decent vocal takes were rendered there, so that was actually quite nice. And at the end of the day, there were not many opportunities for me to snip away those. But of course, we used EQ and we used compression. And remember to roll off that end, okay? And of course, we used some panning, so placing that space where we wanted things to be. Where we have the bass lines somewhere here, we've got the voice right in the center and wide. So you have these sort of ideas, and there's the supporting ones, which is like 50% out there and also in the center, so or just a little bit to the right, and then of course the bass, which is 30%, and then of course just a little bit to the left, just a little bit. So we have these files that are playing off each other and talking to each other within the mix. This is so important when we're doing these things, and just having a good idea as to where we are is very important. The other thing is plan. So having that plan, I think right in the beginning, if you've worked with a plan, so you're busy writing your song, you write your song with your plan, you can take that plan and translate it onto an arrangement. So you can arrange according to that plan, setting out. Of course, a few things will change here and there. That's basically how it works. And it tailor makes itself to set up the next step, and then moving from that to recording, you sort of find yourself doing an extra voice or an extra part or extra line, like we did in the recording. All of a sudden you have this descant melody coming through and sits quite nicely, and it sort of builds the idea of what the voices are going to need to do in order to fill out all of those sections, and it really comes together quite well. And of course, now when you get to sorting out your plan, neatening up those audio files, and of course processing those sound effects the way that you see fit and feel should actually set there nicely, what you have to do as a last step is just to do a basic or a light master. And so this is where we are at the moment. We're gonna import our exported file into Audacity. This is where I do my light mastering, and it's basically a 3-step process where we look to, let me just see if I can just drag this in. Yeah, I can. Okay. So we're listening for any noises that we want to take out of the song. Okay. So if there's a noise floor, noises that are not sort of loud sounds, just like room sounds that we want to remove. Room sounds that we want to do. Well, it's pretty soft anyway. Okay, right. That's pretty cool. We'll do just an overall compression, just something that's very light. See where that goes.
Sticks and stones might break my bones, but your words cut right through.
Beautiful, through me. And just for a little part here, we're going to just do a quick normalize. Okay. Right, just normalizing quickly. I'll have a listen. That's pretty decent, guys. Well, this is actually quite a fantastic move. I'm very happy with what the song sounds like. We've gone through quite a number of processes, having to compose, arrange, record, mix twice, and then superimpose. It's been quite an exciting journey so far. Yeah, man, this is what I would regard as being a huge experience for me. I totally love writing music. I totally love recording, arranging. And I do have to give a huge shout out to Mr. Jonas Adamson. Without you, sir, this would definitely not be possible. So a big thank you goes out to you. Go and check out his music. He's got some nice stuff out there. But that said, I do want to also thank everyone for checking out, our content. All your feedback that you've given is unbelievable on all the platforms. Um, Jeepers, knowing what you've done, what you've gone through, how you've placed or mixed. If you had any questions, getting back to me and all of that, it's something special. But you know how we do, guys. Yeah, give us a thumbs up if you want to see some of the stuff go forward and shared with the rest of us musicians. I would love to have these kinds of conversations with more people like us. Anyone who enjoys music, this is the space to be, just to see how things come together. And of course, hit that subscribe button. It definitely helps the algorithm share this kind of content and just make available to those who are in need of this kind of case study, you know? Guys, it's been fantastic. Thank you so much for joining me on this musical journey. It's unbelievable. You know what we say and how we do. I'll see you in the future. I'm out.